My content is intended to be used and must be used for educational purposes only. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research any information you find from my videos that you wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. Okay, in this short one, I'm going to be covering ADI, AEP, and CCJ, what I'm looking for. So, on ADI, of course, I mean, what did we have today? We had CPI day. So, we saw it almost felt like the whole fucking market gap down today. So, large gap down, nice data dump. So, I always kind of take data with a grain of salt. I mean, the whole market was gapping down today. So, of course, the positions that I'm liking long are going to, gap down. So, I don't necessarily, I mean, I don't know. I kind of treat them. I kind of take them with a grain of salt, I mean, the gap downs and, bearish, this could have been a bullish CPI and we could have been trading ADI at 220 today. I mean, who knows? So, I kind of just take data dumps or, any kind of news event, maybe not stock specific news events, but just kind of with a grain of salt, So, what am I seeing on ADI? So structure is still bullish on the daily. We did have a pretty large high volume day today. So, we saw that in the pre-market price gap down from 204.78 to 197 just on data alone. So that's a very large dump on, of course, zero volume during the pre-market. So, and then we do see that once price came back down to demand, we produced a very high volume 4-hourly candle. So great to see that the majority of the volume today was, right back at demand where we have this large volume profile node, and that the, 204 to 197, your $7 move had just zero volume on some bullshit data that probably doesn't even affect ADI. So, I don't know. That's why I always consider taking these days with a grain of salt, But nevertheless, it is still price action, and we play rules off of price action. So, price still holding bullish structure on the daily, still above the averages on the daily. On the weekly, I think on Friday, what's going to get me out of this position is if the weekly closes below, right here, we would have a bearish structure. So 193.64 roughly, 193.64 wherever this weekly candle closed right here. To be exact, it's 193.51. 193.51 is the exact. I guess I'll change it. 193.51. 193.51. Daily close below 193.51 on the weekly. No, excuse me. On the weekly would get me out of this position. So, why? Because on the line with markers, if we simulate that, here's your little flag break on ADI. Here's your pop to the top of the wedge. Obviously, we're trading right here, but let's say we finish the weekly right here. We would be taking out that previous area of support, and we'd have a bearish structure going on. So that's no bueno for longs. I would not care to be in, but I do still really like ADI. I did actually end up adding to this position. I think today provided a good opportunity right back to demand. I think that data dump was a little bullshit, so I'll call my shot there. AEP, kind of the same thing. Only difference with AEP is it actually did lose bearish or bullish structure. So, or did it? Have we been in a bearish structure this whole time? Here failed the bullish structure, failed to make a higher high right there. So there's your bearish structure here. Another lower high. Yeah, this did not make a higher high. Okay, another lower high. Okay. So we are still in a bearish structure on AEP. We happen to be, obviously it can look scary, 2.1% down the day today. Large bottom wick, which is great to see, and it did end up holding demand and the 50 EMA, which is great to see. So line with markers, we are right back at our SR flip zone. So we finally come back and test. Here's your rejection, then here's that flag break. So this is a pretty big level of interest. So 83 right here is what I'm looking for AEP to hold. Where I'm looking to exit if the weekly closes below this low right here. So let's say we get a weekly close. Boom, here's your higher high, higher low, higher high. Now we're looking for the higher low, or we're looking for the double bottom. So if it closes anywhere above 82.10, that bullishness can still be retained by creating a double bottom and going. Now if this closes below 82.10, no bueno, we'd have some kind of double top, and I'm looking to get out as structure be broken. So no bueno. Yeah, like something like that. But yeah, I think that's what's going to get me out on AEP. Don't really care. Sure, we had this day, but we left a fat gap up. And there was really no sell volume, on this pullback, no sell volume. Even these three candles right here, where's the sell volume? So again, we had this massive dump, of course, of news, and then we had a very large 4-hour volume right there. So that's great to see. On CCJ, I did like this today. I did like the high volume buying that we are seeing today, and we did hold the 9 EMA. So we did close above the previous low right here, which is what I wanted to see. I had this one up there for the higher high, but yeah, I wanted to see this close above this higher low right here. So of course we're gonna get someone just throwing their fucking couch in the dumpster. That's gonna be loud as shit. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think I do like CCJ. Stop's going to be a daily close below 47.02 down there. So nice job, CCJ. I like this one. I do not like this one for a weekly play. This one's going to be a little bit more short term on the weekly. I mean, this has a nice gap below, and we're coming into a level of resistance, which I'm a little weary about, but I think the daily looks fantastic. So yeah, I think above 50 is going to be a big level here. So I'm curious to see how this plays above 50, but that's CCJ. Now let's go talk about Duke. I'll just talk about the rest of them here. So Duke, I mean, same thing as ADI, same thing as AEP. We're right back to that SR flip level, right back to demand. Now structure is broken. Now this was a fake breakout, right? Not fake breakout, but I guess temporarily fake breakout. Sure, I would agree with that. We did break down the bear flag or bull flag right here. We did close lower, so we do have a bearish structure on the daily now. But I do really like the 4-hour bottom wick that this had. Same thing with the others. I mean, look at this 4-hour buying volume. I mean, look at this data dump from 97 back down to 94.81, and then we just had some insane 4-hour volume right there. So what's really going to get me out of Duke? Duke Energy. So what's going to get me out of Duke? It's really going to be the weekly to get me out of Duke. I like these on the weekly just as much as I do like these on the daily. So I'll take a little bit of daily weakness for a nice weekly setup. So what am I seeing on Duke? If we lose 94.62, which happens to be this low and this flag right here, we lose 94.62, I'm out. So if we get a daily close on Friday this week below 94.62, we'd have a bearish structure in the weekly, and I'm out. But I still do really like this position. I mean, we're kind of in the middle of this volume profile node, and we do have some decent resistance up here at 100. But what's the most appealing on this is that those EMAs coiled, and I am liking it on this bearish engulfing monthly, and then this 3-month looks good as well. So I do like this position. So. Yeah, 94.62 is what is going to get me out. So did end up holding the 50 EMA today. Lost to 21, and we do have a bearish structure, so this is likely going to need some kind of some kind of double bottom, some kind of like here and then go or something like that. But kind of interesting. FCX, I'm still in. Yeah, this thing's showing bearish signs across the board. It's just not ready to be sold off yet. I'm watching for the break of the 9 here. Don't really care if we don't get it or until then. But the bearish signals are here. I mean, here's your first bearish signal. Here's your second bearish signal. So this is looking no bueno, but it's not there yet. We could have some kind of rising wedge here that I'd be looking to take advantage of here. So 3M I covered earlier. Not really looking to take a trade right now. PCG, same thing as Duke, same thing as AEP. Came right back down. We do still have bullish structure on the daily and holding those EMAs. So, I mean, if we look at the 4-hour, I bet it'll be the same damn thing. Fucking hammer candle on the 4-hour, right back at demand, and some bullshit dump from 17 to 1670, So, I think this day just stresses the importance of buying time, buying time. If you're swinging weeklies here on some of these trades that I'm taking, you're probably getting wrecked by a day like today. You're seeing these 2% down days across the board, like sure, and you're right back to demand. So my thesis is still not invalid on the majority, if not all. I think the most invalid so far is on probably Duke. Just on the daily, that daily doesn't look great. But I do still like it on the weekly, so I'd let the weekly invalidate my thesis before doing anything. But yeah, I think just buying time is just an absolute necessity. I mean, you're going to get so much more consistency and profitability by buying time. I don't give a shit about getting, some kind of crazy reward in the short term. Like, what are we really doing this for the fucking short term? Then sure, go ahead. Swing those weekly options. I'll be buying June, July, September, and April. PCG, Honestly, a pretty, juicy gap down. I mean, juicy gap down, juicy gap above. Kind of a low volume day today, but I mean, that 4 hours just fucking teller. Fucking 4 hour hammer candle after this massive drop. So, whatever. UPS, I mean, this thing looks great. Very high volume sell day today. Any close above the 9 is going to be what's gets me out. So we could certainly, retrace back to this area of previous support, and then I'd still wouldn't consider selling there or selling my short there. Any break above the 9 here is what's going to get me out on UPS. But yeah, Lockheed Martin. I am looking to take a trade on Lockheed Martin. I do like how this is coiling. I'm looking for maybe one more rejection. Maybe we reject 452 today, and then maybe we close lower tomorrow. I think that would be very sexy. I'd like that a lot. So close lower tomorrow, and then maybe create some kind of bullish structure, double bottom. But just keeping Lockheed Martin on the radars for now. But that'll wrap up the rest of what I'm watching for today.